Hey you, do you have copious amounts of free time? Are you a big fan of the letters R, N, and G? Did you buy a firearm as soon as you were legally able to? If you have said yes to any of these, then boy do I have the waste of time for you. Speedrunning Enter the Gungeon. Enter the Gungeon is one of my favorite games of all time. It's incredible in its gameplay, its art direction, its humor, its variety, its world building, it's everything. I love it. A while ago I decided to speedrun Enter the Gungeon, and I found that there was not a single dedicated speedrun guide on all of YouTube, and I had to resort to reading words. So I'm gonna make my own speedrun guide. This is a speedrun guide. I'm gonna be talking about late game spoilers. I really don't know what to tell you. I have to talk about them. First of all, this is mainly only gonna cover the any percent category, which starts the moment you make your first input in floor 1 to when you fire the gun that can kill the past without the bullet that can kill the past and the end screen calls time. I'm doing this because it's by far the most popular category, and a lot of the other categories, with some exceptions, are just any percent with a different mode like turbo or sorcerer's blessing. Of course, there is also hell percent, but this phase in particular makes me so angry I don't want to deal with it. Most strategies in any percent generally are the same in hell percent, though it is just one extra floor after all. Enter the Gungeon is a very randomized game. I can't exactly give a room by room, screen by screen, step by step analysis. I'm gonna be dividing this up into sections: characters, maps, general tips, items, weapons, and bosses. Each one will be timestamped in the description. Think of this as a general collection of speedrun tips that'll help you out, and I'm gonna be upfront with this, nothing I'm saying is new. Most of this stuff is from the Enter the Gungeon speedrunning Discord and the EnterTheGungeonSpeedrun.com resource page, and I recommend checking them out if you have any questions or just want more speed tech. Links for them will be in the description. I'm just the guy putting this all in video form. And lastly, don't go into this expecting to get a world record or anything. For one, this world record is pretty much unbeatable due to the insane RNG. Literally, the second place time is 2 minutes behind, but also trying to go for world record strats only isn't fun. Don't think of this as trying to get a perfect time, think of it as trying to get your name on speedrun.com. Alright, what character you picking? Out of the 9 playable characters, you can only play as 8 of them because the cultist is only in multiplayer. Now, despite what you may think, the paradox can still be used in any percent. Now, usually, the paradox gets dragged on a bullet hell because of how he's used in unlocking the gunslinger, but apparently, if you just don't grab the bullet that can kill the past, and you haven't had the gunslinger unlocked, you can just waltz on by. Which I haven't. Oh, trust me, I have tried unlocking the gunslinger many times, and every time I try to do it, don't worry, I'll still be discussing the gunslinger's abilities. Now, out of all 8 characters, there's no definitive right or wrong answer. All have their own reasons for making them viable, and all have gotten incredible times. The convict has an item that lets you do double damage for a bit after taking damage, and the Molotov cocktail is great for many bosses. The Marine has a great starting gun and high accuracy. Hunter's crossbow one-shots most enemies on the first 2 floors, and her dog Junior gives warnings against mimics, and has a 5% chance to dig an item after every room. The bullet can move the fastest out of any character in the game using the blasphemy sword, and blasphemy is probably one of the best weapons in the game if you're at full health. The robot gains a 5% permanent increase in damage per junk item it gets, and the gunslinger is pretty much if Adderall was a playable character. The one I'd consider the worst in this case is probably the pilot, though. He has the weakest starting gun in the game, and yes, he gets lower shop prices and a 50% chance to open chests, but if you want to use those optimally, it's gonna take time, and that's what we're trying to avoid. I'd probably have to say that either the Convict or the Hunter are the best beginner picks. The Marine and Gunslinger are also good beginner picks, maybe even the Paradox, but the Robot and the Gunslinger for really advanced players, and probably aren't the best for most beginners when it comes to speedrunning. Although don't take these recommendations super seriously. Again, there's no true right or wrong answer. Play the character you feel the best with. If you're an absolute beast with the pilot, then who am I to tell you otherwise? Before you start a run, make sure you have the right settings turned on. Obviously turn on the speedrun timer mode, but also have increased speed outside of combat. It'll save you time. The first question you may have is, how do you know which direction to go? More specifically, how do you know where the boss door is? I mean, yeah, the floor layouts are completely randomized, how would you ever know? Well, what if I told you the floor layouts aren't completely randomized? Each floor has a set of templates or generations it uses for floors. The game just does a very good job at masking these generations with different room layouts, different room shapes, twisting the layout, hidden rooms, etc. to make every floor seem completely new and completely random. First floor, Keep of the Lead Ward, for example, has 6 templates, Gungeon proper, 8 templates, Black Powder Mine, 5 templates, etc. Now, don't be fooled by how simple these diagrams look. In-game, these can look very different, but the number of rooms is always the same. There's a very good video by Pillowchrome on this where he gives a more brief, detailed explanation on how the first floor's generations worked, and if you're confused of how all this works, you should definitely watch that. It'll be linked in the description. General tips. This next part is just going to be various tips that you should probably know that don't necessarily fall into any category. Okay, the big one. If you drop a gun, pick it back up, instantly reloaded. You can probably see how good this is. You don't need to use it for every gun, but it's just good to do, especially for guns that take a long time to reload. Flip a table, you'll be completely invincible for a brief moment. When you get hit as convict with the enraging photo, your gun is instantly reloaded. If you don't get a gun on the first floor and beat the boss, you'll always get a gun. There's a glitch called guard flashing you can do with a bullet to make the sword's hitbox much bigger. Link to a more in-depth video in the description. And if you don't get a master round on the first floor and don't get one on the second floor, consider resetting, unless, of course, you got some baller items or items that increase your health. Items. This is going to be about various items that are good for speedrunning specifically. Now, keep in mind, I'm not going to go over every good item in the game because you probably know what most of the good items are. This will be the same for guns. But remember, curse. Some items and guns give the player a set amount of curse. The more curse you have, the worse. Enemies will become jammed and have a lot more health and deal double damage and will basically fuck you up. Remember what items and guns have curse and think it over if they're worth picking up. Okay. Double vision, doubles all bullets fired, very effective on bosses. Age of Hell freezes enemies. Potion of gun friendship makes you do more damage. Grappling hook, very fast. Alpha bullets, the first shot of a magazine does 8% more damage. Combine this with weapons that only have one shot and drop reloading, and it's very powerful. Plus 1 bullets, 25% more damage. Platinum bullets, increased damage with every shot hit. Bionic leg, shotgun coffee, shotgun cola, and ballistic boots increases movement speed. Cartographer ring, chance for the map to reveal when you enter the port. You get to skip the whole guessing thing. Andromeda Strand, all enemies have 25% less health. Escape rope teleports you to the shop instantly. This is what is used in the world record. Jetpack, fly over pits, and drastically move faster. And Skeleton Key, opens all locks for free, has 1 curse. Items to actively avoid. Lament Configurum, just spawns more enemies. Ruby Bracelet, thrown guns explode, not good for the gun throwing strat. Fat bullets, they make your bullets incredibly slow, just avoid them. Really good guns. Sportable gun, random chance to shoot a shot that does 20 times more damage. AU gun, just straight up the one-shot gun, one-shots everything except bosses. Sticky crossbow does insane damage. Strafe gun does a ton of damage. Yari launcher, big damage. Morning Star.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Screw it, just put all S-tier guns in here. Rad gun, if you time the reloading right, the damage is increased. The Scrambler, I just like this one. Magic lamp, hit 3 bullets, does a ton of damage. This one stands out because people found out it's possible to one-cycle the final Dragon phase with it. And Alien Engine, you go really fast, maybe a bit too fast, but fast nonetheless. Bosses. Now, generally with bosses, you just do damage them fast. I don't really have that much else to comment on, so this will just be some quick tips on each of them. Trigger Twins, focus on one because when one dies, the other regains its health. Gatling Gull, circle these pillars. Ammoconda, do not let it heal. Gore Gun, you can avoid its ring attack by looking the other way. Cannon Balrog, hope it doesn't do this darkness thing that much. Mind Flayer, spread shots are good for clearing the bell form. Wallmonger, stay to the sides but not too close where your shots get stuck inside the wall. High Priest, hope a random bullet doesn't decide to spawn directly next to you. Kill Pillars, use blanks on the starting circle attack to end it instantly. And, of course, this is the final stretch to finishing a run, so don't choke it now. The most important thing to remember is to stay calm. If you have to play defensive for a while, play defensive. Just keep pumping bullets at the drag gun, and eventually you'll do it. It's okay to take it slow, just don't take it too slow. Once you're in the final phase, if you have a charge weapon, make sure to charge it during the bullet volley to get its full damage to the heart. Switch to a fast but still good damage dealing weapon after the charge to get as much damage as possible. Now, once the dragon's dead, remember time hasn't been called yet. Go through the portal, don't go down to bullet hell, and shoot the gun that can kill the past. If you didn't grab the bullet that can kill the past from the blacksmith, game will end here, and you'll see your final time in the Ammonomicon. Good job. Special thanks to the Enter the Gungeon speedrunning scene and the Enter the Gungeon community in general. I've had to check a lot of resources and wikis for this video. I highly recommend checking out the resource page and the Discord server in the description. Once again, every guide video I've shown and the guides I've mentioned will be in the description. There's still a lot of things I didn't cover or miss, so be sure to check those things out if you want more details. If I missed anything extremely important, please feel free to correct me in the comments. There's probably at least something I got wrong. I usually don't do speedrun guides, and probably never will again. Check out my other videos for stuff that I actually do regularly. I don't know, happy speedrunning.